Good morning, everyone. We're gonna go pick some onion tops for pesto today, but I really wanted to look around and see what the garden is looking like because last night we had a bear come visit us at 4 in the morning, and Marble started barking and growling, and then I turned on the light outside, and it was a small-ish sized bear, but if that's the one whose footprints we saw, has really big paws. Okay, so let's look. I wanted to look at our fruit trees and stuff too to see if there is anything done damage-wise. The structure, like the fence and everything, looks fine. It didn't try to get into the garden at all. But let's look at the fruit trees. So when I saw the bear last night, it was right around this area behind me. And those are some plums, these are some pears, this is a fig, and we have some other apples down that way. And I'm gonna kind of get closer and see if I see anything. Well, it looks like everything's fine. I'm looking for broken branches. These are the pears. This pear tree has been doing the best ever so far, since Jeff cut down a bunch of trees behind it. Now the sun comes in and we started pruning it, so that looks fine. These plums, talk about low-hanging fruit for the bear. They're just like right there. But again, they're not quite ripe. Everything looks pretty good. I don't see any bear scat or anything, and Marble doesn't either. So I guess we're fine here. But that was kind of exciting. All right, well, on to today. Okay, now everybody has a little haircut, and the nice thing about this is these are the parts of the onion that kind of die back to tell you that the onion is ready to pick, but they're still going strong right now, and there's still enough left to indicate to me when to dig up the onion, I think. And this is the part that otherwise you wouldn't eat. So by harvesting these onion tops right now, you get kind of double bang for your buck in a sense. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one up because it's all limp and wilty, and I feel like it's ready to go. So let's see, this is exciting. Oh, red. Little baby red. There you go. That's fun. Yay. Put that right there. I accidentally dug up another one. So little friends. They'll go inside and be friends in a meal together. The real question is, do I dig the carrots up? I'll have to check. This one went to seed, and I think carrot seeds are so fun. They look like Queen Anne's lace, which is one of my favorite flowers. And I'm just gonna go ahead and let that one do its thing because then I can get carrot seeds for next time. It's getting close. Hi friends. Whew, it was a hot one today. It's not even noon yet and it's already hot, which for here is unusual. Anyway, I wanted to show you all of the onion tops that I got. I also picked a little bit of chard because we have a couple that are bolting right now, and I know that these leaves are just the only ones I'm going to get from that plant. So anyway, pretty much it seems like any leafy edible green is fair game for pesto. So I'm gonna chop these up and see how much I have. I think the recipe that I'm gonna use calls for 6 cups, which makes a lot of pesto. And also, if I don't have enough of this, then I'm gonna supplement it with the basil that I have growing across the room. And if I do have enough of this, then I'm gonna make a whole other one of basil pesto. And we'll see how adventurous I'm feeling because I learned recently you can actually eat pepper leaves, and we have a million pepper plants that, again, I don't know what to do with. Everywhere's planted out. So I might make that, although their taste, Jeff and I both tried a leaf. It's very, full of flavor, like a deep leaf flavor, and it just keeps coming. So I don't know, that might be something better to mix with, but I want to try to keep the onion flavor, I guess, as pure as possible. We'll see. This is all a big experiment, as are many of the things that I do at Geegaw's greenhouse. So thanks for coming along with for the adventure, and let's get these washed up. Oh, I forgot to mention, one of the things that I'm going to do while I'm prepping the other stuff is get these walnuts toasting. You can, like, pesto calls for pine nuts most often, but walnuts, I mean, are good as well, and they're cheaper, so we got a big bag of these yesterday, and yeah, so let's get the oven working for us as we do this other stuff. For 8 minutes and see what happens. It's been really fun to play in the garden this summer and intentionally try to plant things and grow things, but more than that, try to use them. And by using the parts of the onion that I would have originally just discarded, it felt really fulfilling. And so here I am just washing off a bunch of them because they came straight from the garden. Also, another small and simple joy is this basket that I have maintained as my garden basket. I got it at an estate sale kind of in our area, and it's just brought me so much joy to just have like a little garden basket. Honestly, until this summer, I hadn't even heard of onion top pesto, so it's been really fun to learn new things and, like I said, learn new ways of using something I've already been growing. I also need to redeem myself for my first wild pesto adventure, so today's the day. I'm just cutting these up again. I've got 3 cups in there, and I just want to do this. I cut these just coarsely because then I can fit them in a measuring cup and just get a feel for how many cups I have. The recipe I'm using is going to use 6 cups, and it says make a year's worth of pesto. And I definitely have 6 cups just of onion tops. I haven't even gone in to the basil yet. So we're gonna have a lot of pesto is what it's sounding like. Okay, so that's 4 in there. I bet this is 5, 6. Everything I have, I bet, is gonna be just over 6 cups. Here's 5-ish, 6-ish. Oh, there's a timer for the walnuts. Let's pause on that. 6, yeah, I'm just gonna call it. This is roughly 6 cups because I've got a few more over in the dish drainer. I'm leaving everything on, including these little guys, because A, I don't know what I'm doing, and B, it's all just gonna get ground up anyway. So that's that. Here's the last little bit. And I guess I don't have to chop these, but I just did because habit. Fun. So probably, I would say probably this is like 6.5 cups, especially since apparently now I'm going to add chard and the last little bits of onions. Okay, that's pretty good. 6 cups. Meanwhile, perfect timing. This is done. I just wanted them to get a little toasty, and they did. The other item we are going to need is a food processor, which we have. Okay, hold on. I tried making pesto for the first time probably about 5 years ago. I think it was just before Geegaw died, and I got to tell him the story, and we tried it, or I don't know if he tried any, but I made it in my kitchen apartment, and I had a blender, and I had like a wooden spoon, and I ended up like shaving slivers off of the wooden spoon in the blender. Pesto got everywhere. I was up to my elbows in pesto because it wasn't grinding down. It was just like getting blended. It wasn't processed, like getting like food processor consistency. So it's been like 4 years, I think, since we've had the food processor, and I haven't made it since, but now today is the day. So here we go. Okay, I've got about a cup in here, and that's fine with me. The recipe was 3/4 of a cup, but that's probably good because I have a little more of the greens than I do from what the recipe calls for. And I might have to blend this once and then blend it down again because I don't think everything will fit. So let's do phase 1. We need 1/2 cup of nuts, 3/4 cup. This is little garlic that we grew. Oh, it's so cute. This is garlic from the store. Don't eat that, Marble. Okay, yeah, that's going in. It says 3 cloves, so you know it's gonna be at least 6. There's some garlic, and then I can taste test later to see if I want to change anything. What else do I need? 1/2 teaspoon of that. We'll do that as well. Whew, that's very peppery. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, it's the moment of truth. Let's see. Wow, it smells like onions. See, this is a taste test. It tastes good. It tastes like onions, and it tastes like all of the ingredients. It hasn't like gelled together. Huh. I might mess around with it a little bit. If I had this, I would definitely know it was supposed to be pesto. Okay. It's just not quite there yet. Okay, so even though I didn't change it from when I originally tested it, I blended it a little more, and that helped. And I'm just gonna call it good with this. I'm gonna can it up right now to freeze, so I'm gonna leave plenty of headspace for the expansion, and then I'm going to try this whole process again with basil and see if that makes a difference. And I'm also going to make sure that I blend up the Parmesan cheese a little more. So those, I think, 2 things will help it taste more like the pesto that I'm used to. But honestly, this is pretty good, and I would eat it like on spaghetti with shrimp, or like, yeah, all kinds of goodies. So I'm happy with it, and let's can it up. One fun thing that I'm going to be using is this spoon that my grandpa won in a chili cook-off, and his writing's still on it. So that's super fun. Another fun way to honor my grandpa, Geegaw. Outside of the greenhouse, the spoon is well loved. So let's do this thing. You can always come back through and add more, but it's harder to take out. So I'm leaving at least an inch because, again, I want to freeze this, and I think that will be better. Okay, so here's where the rest of the basil inside of the house lives. We've got this tower, this set, and these are the ones that we transplanted. And they're growing really tall, and they're starting to go to seed, which I'm not unhappy about. I'd like to get basil seeds. And then we have those. And then over there is the pepper. Ignore this dead plant. So I have to decide, I'm pretty much going to take all of that, I think. I'm tired of growing this. I'm also tired of this tower. And I have to kind of like mentally assess where the rest of the basil is. We have some in the greenhouse. Oh, I think I'm going to go get that now. It's not doing well. I'm going to get the greenhouse stuff. And then we have the greenhouse outside. Okay, so we have basil in here, and it's doing pretty well. I'll go check on it next. And we have basil in the greenhouse across the way that is barely hanging on. There's the slugs like the basil the most. It's kind of funny though. I feel like I've left the basil in there so that the slugs eat the basil and nothing else, because we have so much basil, it doesn't really matter. So I guess I'll go get the stuff in the greenhouse, check on this. I'm not going to dig that up. I'm going to leave that. But if that's not doing well, then I might leave a couple of extras inside, or I might leave the tower, I think is probably what I'll do. But if those are doing well, then the tower goes, I think is the new plan. Here we go. This is a bit of an all-over day, meaning like I went to the garden and then I came back inside, and now I'm going back to the greenhouse, and then I'll come back inside. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. The greenhouse, meanwhile, is, I think you may have seen in another video, but really booming. Look at all this stuff. It's hot in here. Humid. Oh, there's a slug. Okay, so let's get the basil and get out because that's the plan, and then we can come back and do other stuff as needed. This evil slug is heading right towards this basil plant, but not today, slug. Not today. I was gonna take it all up, but I think I'm gonna cut it because I'm impatient, honestly, is why. I just want this. Dirt, you can stay in here, do your thing. Slug, you can have a little snack on that basil. And one down, a million to go. It's hard to see where everything is. Remember how I wanted to plant like as much as I possibly could? Well, I did, and now I can't find anything. The cucumbers were twisted all around this basil plant. Ugh. Oh, this is a mess. This bad boy. This is a tall basil plant, but it's not bushy. See how, let's see. See how it's just kind of stringy? I think my goal is to help them become more full. This one is full. I guess I'll leave that one. I'm definitely leaving these because I'm going to get seeds from them. But I cut off all of those. I think I got everything, which is pretty good. Oof, getting attacked by tomatoes. Okay, here's what we're walking away with. That's nice. It's gonna be some good basil. I mean, it is good basil. It's gonna be some good pesto. Okay, now we are on our way to go look at the basil that's growing in the outside. I mean, I was gonna say the outside greenhouse, but the other one's also outside. In this one. You know what I mean. Around here. Oh yeah, wait, that's tomatoes. I don't want to lift it all up. Oh, it's down here. Whoa, look at that basil. Oh yeah, that's doing well. It's nice and hot in here. Okay. All right, we'll leave that back down. Okay, this means that the tower of basil is at least going to get a haircut. I do have a hard time picking it all, but we're going to give it, at the minimum, we're going to give it a haircut. That will be a good experiment. See what happens. Can we cut it? Will it grow back? My guess is yes and yes. Let's move on to this. How much do I need to keep is the real question. I think I'm going to take everything that hasn't gone to seed. I'm going to take all of that. This is going bye-bye. These are going to become food for us right now. Easy peasy. And same for everything in here. Wow, look at this one. I'm so proud of this plant. You're gonna make excellent pesto. Thank you for your leaves. Pretty good for an inside little basil garden, wouldn't you say? And a couple of outside plants. This is definitely gonna make some yummy, yummy pesto. I'm going to repeat the same process that you saw me making the onion top pesto with, except I'm going to blend the cheese a little more. And I don't think I'm going to film all of that. I'll show you the end result though. Alright folks, here we have the pesto made from basil. And I ended up dipping into this, what I thought was like an endless supply of basil, which is still, there's a lot there, to add it in here because it just kept tasting too cheesy. And then I realized I forgot to put in the garlic, so I did that. And it tastes good. So, yay. We're going to scoop this up now and save this. And I'll make whatever I can with this, kind of eyeballing ingredients. Okay, here's the last little bit. This one is basil pesto mixed with a little bit of pepper leaf that I grabbed. So I'm just going to put this in here to fill up the rest of this one, and we'll see how much left over we have. I might just put that in like a little container or something, and we could eat it this week. So I think that sounds like an excellent plan. Okay, friends, here's what we were able to make. A little container for the week. This is onion top pesto. All of those onion tops I would have never had eaten anyway. So now we have 4 things of pesto. I'm going to give those to some family. And then these 2 are basil top pestos. So super pleased with that. I thought I would get a little more, to be honest, with all of the pesto, with all the basil that we had growing, but I'm just so happy with this. And actually, like, how much pesto do you use at a time anyway? So not very much, probably like half of that. So that's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or more meals of something deliciously pesto-y. So thank you for joining me on this journey. I think the key takeaway from today was that I wanted more of like a bright flavor in all of them, and adding lemon juice really did the trick and like the last one that I made. So next time I make this, I'm going to make sure that I have enough lemon juice. I was like kind of starting to run out, and I wanted to make sure I had at least a little bit in all of the recipes. But yeah, lemon juice is key. It makes it just like have that bright flavor, and maybe a little less cheese to like counterbalance those two. But yeah, I'm super pleased with what we did. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.